Have you ever noticed how quickly life seems to pass by? One day melts into the next. We rush through the morning routine, answer endless messages, sit in traffic, juggle responsibilities, and collapse into bed at night, exhausted. And in those quiet moments before sleep, a question sometimes slips in. Did I actually live today? Or did I just get through it? The Buddha once said in the Anguttara Nikaya, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Yet our minds rarely stay here, they wander constantly. At breakfast, we're thinking of deadlines. At work, we're thinking of yesterday's mistake. Sitting with loved ones, we're worrying about tomorrow's bills. Our bodies are in the present, but our hearts and minds are anywhere but here. Mindfulness is simply learning to come back home, to arrive in the present moment. And in doing so, we discover that peace isn't somewhere far away. It's right here, hidden inside every ordinary moment we've been ignoring. Before we go further, if these words already resonate with you, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and share in the comments. When was the last time you felt truly alive, fully present? Your answer might become the spark that lights the way for someone else. Mindfulness in the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path is often drawn as 8 spokes of a wheel. Each spoke represents one aspect of the path to liberation: right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. But here's the secret. Without mindfulness, the wheel cannot turn smoothly. With mindfulness, we see clearly, that is right understanding. With mindfulness, our intentions are guided by compassion instead of greed or anger. With mindfulness, our words soften, our actions align with kindness, and our way of making a living becomes cleaner, freer of harm. Mindfulness fuels our effort, and it supports deep concentration. The Buddha once compared mindfulness to carrying a lamp through the dark. A disciple asked him, "Master, how do I avoid mistakes in my speech and actions?" The Buddha replied, "Shine the light of mindfulness upon them, as a man carrying a lamp through the night avoids stumbling." It's simple and profound. Mindfulness is the light that prevents us from tripping in the dark of our own unconsciousness. And this light isn't just something to admire in old scriptures. It's something we can switch on, even while standing in line at the grocery store. Mindfulness in modern life. Science now validates what monks knew centuries ago. Research shows mindfulness lowers cortisol, improves memory, strengthens focus, even changes the brain's structure in areas linked to compassion and emotional balance. But beyond the brain scans and academic studies, mindfulness gives us back the gift of our everyday lives. Picture this: a mother rocking her baby. She could be scrolling through social media, half distracted. Or she could be watching her child's eyes flutter, listening to the soft sound of breathing, feeling the warmth of a tiny hand. The first mother passes time, the second mother lives a miracle. Or think of eating. So often we shovel food in while staring at a screen, barely tasting it. But to eat mindfully is to notice the colors, the texture, the fragrance, to realize that sunlight, rain, earth, and countless hands came together to create this single meal. In that awareness, gratitude naturally arises. And it's not only about joy. Mindfulness is just as crucial when life hurts. Facing suffering with mindfulness. Everyone has pain. Some carry grief for someone they lost. Some live with illness or financial pressure. Others feel the heavy ache of loneliness. Our usual strategies are to deny it, numb it, or drown in it. But mindfulness teaches a third way: to face suffering directly with gentle awareness. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha taught, the mind is the forerunner of all things. An unguarded mind brings suffering. When sadness arises, mindfulness names it. This is sadness. When anger arises, mindfulness says, this is anger. Like a wise friend sitting beside us, mindfulness doesn't fight or flee. It simply acknowledges, and in that moment of recognition, suffering loses some of its power. There is a well-known story of a monk who was insulted harshly. Instead of reacting, he stayed calm. Puzzled, the man asked, "Why do you not get angry?" The monk replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, who does it belong to?" The man fell silent. That's mindfulness. Refusing to pick up the burning coal someone else hands you. And this ability to hold pain with awareness doesn't just help us, it transforms our relationships too. Mindfulness in relationships. Imagine sitting across from your partner, child, or friend. They are speaking, but your mind is already composing your reply, or worse, drifting elsewhere. How often do we really listen? To listen mindfully is to put aside judgment, silence the inner commentary, and give full presence. The Buddha said, "Greater in battle than the man who would conquer 1,000 men is he who conquers himself." In relationships, the enemy we must conquer is not the other person. It's our own impatience, our pride, our quick temper. Think of an argument you've had. What if, before replying sharply, you took just one conscious breath? That single pause can change the outcome of the entire conversation. Arguments dissolve, bridges are repaired, love deepens, all because of one mindful breath. And if mindfulness can reshape our personal relationships, imagine the impact when we bring it into our workplaces and schools. In our culture, multitasking is worn like a badge of honor, but study after study shows it actually makes us less productive, not more. Mindfulness suggests the opposite. Do one thing at a time, but do it fully. A programmer writing code mindfully notices subtle errors before they snowball. A student studying mindfully remembers more and feels less anxious. A teacher teaching mindfully doesn't just deliver information, but transmits calm and inspiration. The Buddha said, "Whatever a monk keeps pursuing with his thinking and pondering, that becomes the inclination of his awareness." What we choose to give our attention to, moment by moment, shapes who we become. And mindfulness doesn't stop at sharpening the mind. It nourishes the body too. Mindfulness and health. Modern hospitals now offer mindfulness-based programs for patients with chronic pain, cancer, depression, and insomnia. And results are striking. Patients often report not just relief, but a deeper sense of peace amid their struggles. but you don't need to be sick to benefit. Take eating, for example. Mindless eating often leads to overeating, digestive problems, or even guilt. But mindful eating restores balance. You chew slowly, savor flavors, notice when you're full. Eating becomes both healthier and more joyful. In this way, mindfulness transforms something as ordinary as a meal into an act of care, both for body and spirit. And as we keep practicing, something even greater begins to unfold. Mindfulness and spiritual growth. Mindfulness is not just about stress reduction. At its deepest, it is a path to wisdom. With steady practice, impermanence reveals itself. Everything changes. Nothing lasts forever. We see non-self, that what we call I, is just a collection of changing elements. And we see suffering not as punishment, but as a shared condition of all beings. Paradoxically, this vision doesn't depress us, it liberates us. Because when we stop clinging, stop insisting life must fit our desires, we open to compassion. We realize everyone is struggling, and from that realization, love naturally arises. In the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha declared, all living beings have the capacity to become Buddhas. This isn't philosophy, it's encouragement. It means you, me, anyone watching this video already holds that seed. And mindfulness is the rain that helps it grow. But like any seed, it needs patience. And along the way, obstacles appear. It's easy to get frustrated. The mind wanders. Expectations creep in. We judge ourselves for not doing it right. But the Buddha offered comfort. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering little by little, fills himself with good. Every mindful breath is one drop. Every mindful step, one more. Slowly the jar fills. No effort is wasted. And as our jars fill individually, together they spill over into our families, our communities, and our society. When one person practices mindfulness, their family feels it. Patience grows, arguments soften, joy spreads. When an entire family practices, the neighborhood notices. When a community practices, conflicts ease, understanding deepens. This is why monasteries emphasize group practice. But you don't need a monastery. A family that eats dinner mindfully together once a week is already building a culture of presence. Two friends who agree to walk without phones and simply notice the world are already changing their corner of society. From the individual to the family to the collective, mindfulness radiates outward like ripples on a pond. And ultimately, it circles back to you, right here, right now. We've walked a long path together in this video, and perhaps the biggest lesson is this. Mindfulness doesn't belong to monks alone, it belongs to anyone who breathes, which means it belongs to you. The Buddha taught, be a lamp unto yourself. No one can walk this path for you, but you can choose to walk it with awareness. One breath steady, one step peaceful, one moment truly lived. If this talk touched you, I invite you to give it a like, share it with someone who could use a moment of peace, and leave a comment below. How do you want to bring mindfulness into your daily life? And of course, subscribe to this channel so we can continue practicing together. Mindfulness is not a final destination. It is a lifelong journey. It is the lamp in darkness, the cool stream in the desert of suffering. And when you live mindfully, every ordinary moment reveals itself as extraordinary.